Okay, guys, so now I want to go over the crucial factors to getting started before you can, continue to use the methods that I'm going to teach you in the next couple lectures. Essentially, what you're going to need to do is get started and put some content up there. Potentially start building a following, whatever, however you want to do that. I'm going to give you the method that I use. Like I said, there is a barrier to entry, so you'll start to see that it benefits you to potentially, and I don't necessarily always recommend this, but in these cases where you're doing your Instagram driving traffic through that, I do recommend potentially purchasing maybe 1,000 or 2,000 followers. You can get them very, very cheap from a site I use. This is one that I recommend, and I'm no way affiliated with this site. It's just literally the one that I use when I need to do it. You can see right here, 1,000 Instagram followers. I think they usually run specials, so you can probably get a discount on this somehow. Maybe just look for a coupon code or something like that. But essentially, you can literally buy followers for cheap. You don't need, 10,000 followers to start out with. You don't need anything crazy, but you're going to want some social proof. It's going to help drive trust and sales. So potentially people trust your Instagram page. Because, let me give you an example really fast. Let's just go in and we'll search for I always go to the example baseball. I don't know why, that's where my mind goes. But okay, so this one is a good example. He's got 8 posts, and this is exactly what I wanted to touch on in the future too. You're going to want to fill your post out with at least 9, because obviously in this specific tutorial and this course, for the most part, I will be on my computer showing you Instagram. But you can do this, and you most likely will do this, and because 99% of people use Instagram on their mobile device, you'll most likely be doing this from your phone. I'm just showing you on the computer because it's easier to demonstrate, and you get the picture better. But there's 2 things wrong with this account. A, he only has 505 followers so far, and he's following way more people than that follow him. That doesn't look good. It means that he's more interested, and he's a consumer essentially more than a creator, and that's not what we want to communicate to our potential audience. So essentially what you need to do is, there's that barrier to entry. You don't need to purchase followers, but it can help you. It can kind of help drive that initial exponential growth, so you can start making sales immediately and start getting people to trust you and engage with your posts immediately and click your link potentially immediately. So he doesn't have any link in his bio. That's strike number 1. He doesn't have that many followers. Strike number 2. He's following more than people than follow him. That's strike number 3. He doesn't have at least 9 posts, which is crucial, because even on the computer, but especially on a mobile device, the very first thing that you see when you pop on a page is these first 9 pictures. You can scroll down usually and there's more, but essentially to get started, the very first thing that you're going to want to need is good, relevant set of 9 initial pictures with good captions. And I'm going to go into how you can tag them in a second and get more engagement organically. But basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to generate 9 quality pictures to start with. Obviously, ideally, you're going to want to post a new picture and tag it in the comments, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, every single day. It doesn't have to be every single day, but it helps. It can really start driving engagement, because one thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to be hashtagging all your posts in the comments, not in the actual description. So that's going to help drive more organic traffic every single day to your pages and essentially to your site, because you'll start to see that when you type in baseball, and you actually can't do this. Basically, I'm just going to explain it to you. So what you want to rank for, he's probably not ranking for any keywords. He hasn't even hashtagged anything, but you're going to want to hashtag, I think the limit's 40, don't quote me on that, it changes, but I believe that it's 40 hashtags that are as relevant to the potential niche or products that your engagement with, that your page is about. You're going to want to think of those, put a lot of thought into them. If you need to, you can use Google AdWords. So let me just really fast, it's free. You can set up a Google AdWords account. You don't need to pay for it. But essentially what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create your 9 posts. Then you're going to want to fill out the description for them and describe them really well. You don't need a hashtag in your description at all. what you're going to do is you're going to post a comment to your photo. The very first comment will be you, and it will be your 40 hashtags. And you want those 40 hashtags to be as relevant to your keywords as possible. So use your brain, think of the most relevant potential hashtags to them. That will help drive organic sales, because when people search for that in the search bar, your picture could potentially pop up if you've hashtagged that. So a way, if you can't think of 40 relevant ones, a way to do it would be to come to Google AdWords, and you can set this up for free, like I said, and then you're going to go to Tools, Keyword Planner, I don't know why this is taking so long. There we go. Computer's doing a lot right now. It's probably why it's slow. We're just going to type in baseball and get ideas. And there you go. You can start to see, Google is the biggest search engine in the world. It provides you with all this information for free. Take advantage of it. Use this to your advantage. Utilize this information. So these are the keywords that are related to baseball that you might want to hashtag, and something to think about. Ideally, what you're going to want to shoot for is low competition with high searches. So this is a phenomenal one. I haven't seen one of these on the first page in a long time. This is actually something, maybe you want to actually start an Instagram tailored around baseball, because MLB is a phenomenal keyword. It's got low competition, which is wild to me, and it's got 1 million to 10 million average monthly searches. Actually, there's a bunch here that are low competition. This is ideal. Somebody should hop on this. I haven't seen anything like this in a while since I've been using Google Planner. But basically, you're going to want to type in a keyword. You're going to get relevant keywords like that, and that's what you're going to want to hashtag, these terms right here. Something like them that are the most relevant that you feel like, that are ideally as low competition as you want. Typically these say high, or slightly high, or medium, not all low. But you're going to want as low competition as you can with as high average monthly searches as you can. And then you're going to want to put those 40 relevant keywords and hashtag them in the first comment after you post your video and do your description. And that will help drive organic traffic to your site in the future. And the more pictures you obviously upload and post every single day, that will exponentially increase your potential follower count. So that's an organic way that you can do it. Like I said, you don't need to do that. I'm going to teach you my target following method in future lectures to really start honing in and building your audience and your following. But that's that's 101. That's crucial right there. Getting those organic drivers of traffic through the hashtags that are relevant to your keywords. But like I said, guys, I would recommend purchasing followers. You can use Increase. There's a million other ones that you can use. I use Increase personally. I wouldn't go any more than 2,000. You don't need more than 2,000 initially. It will just give you a little bit of social proof, because if I were a customer or something potentially interested in baseball, and this were a fan page, and it looks like this is a personal page, but just an example here, I would be very hesitant to necessarily engage with this as a normal person, just because he doesn't have a high following, he doesn't have a high engagement rate yet, and you need that social proof. So essentially what you'll see is, as you start getting more followers, more and more people will be inclined to follow you, engage with your pictures, because other people will, and that will tell them that, hey, there's something here, other people find this interesting, and so I should too. So that's why I stress, getting the initial followers. You don't need it. You can start target following without it, but it just helps. So in the next one, guys, I'm going to go into, how you can set up your link to start monetizing your following. And then in the future lectures, I'm going to go into how you can build that once you get your link up, because you want to capitalize on every potential follower, because every follower that comes to your page is going to potentially click your link, and you want to capitalize on that. So before we get into any of the the target following or anything like that, or building your following in those ways, I'm going to go into how you can monetize your link in the future lectures to come. So stay tuned for that, and let's get into the next one.